Goodyear Mini Challenges supported by Mini Spares. Well, when they're driving on Goodyear, this will probably be one of the smaller car tires they have to produce for cars, of course, which is, yeah, they could name this tire maybe the Goodyear Mini then. That would be a nice one. But the Mini Light, yeah. But anyway, we have seven or one, two, three or four classes: the Mini Miglia, Mini Libre, Mini 7, and the Mini 7 S class in this Goodyear Mini Challenges, supported by Mini Spares. And one of the cars is not running. It's a number 0 car of Aaron Smith, who is pushed away from the track into the pit lane, and I hope they can rescue Aaron Smith and make his car run. Let's hope that the mechanics are able to do it. Maybe a small thing, but yeah, he is really a good competitor within the Mini Cup, so I hope people can help them to arrange things. Yeah, they're now at checking the car. The bonnet goes off probably. And well, the bonnet, it's a little bonnet, and let's hope that they can get the car ready to be at the end of the pit lane, and it can start from the pit. But it seems to be a serious problem, and the rest of the field is doing the warm-up lap, and we have a standing start. So with the pole position on the left side, on the side of the grandstand, with the Rupert Deeth on pole position, the number 23 car. Hele veld inmiddels rijdend richting de Arie Luijendijk-bocht, waar ze zometeen het rechte stuk op komen. All field is currently moving towards the Arie Luijendijk corner and entering the straight within a couple of seconds to go to the start grid and be ready for the start of the race.
4 classes, but they all start at the same time. The Miglia, the quickest of the contesters, with a 1300cc engine, the Libres with a 1380cc, but not as much liberty in other directions than the 7 and the M7 Mini 7 S class, all with I think 1000cc. Mini 7S is also 1300, and Rupert Deeth with a black car at the front, the white car of Ian Curley alongside. Then the dark red car of Colin Peacock on the right hand side, and the brighter red car of Aaron Smith. The scarlet red car, I think, almost, than the green one of Phil Bullen Brown in row 3.
Yeah, Bullen Brown has one of the most, how do you say, day-glow cars of the whole field with the orange.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's the other one. Yeah, yeah.
There they go. There they go, and I'm not sure if it's Rupert Deeth who will go to Tarzan corner first, because it's Ian Curley that is on the inside at Tarzan. And is Rupert Deeth going with him on the outside of Tarzan or not? I think when Curley
he's staying
go
there
into the left, but he didn't do. They left each other alive, so to say, and then it would be the advantage of Rupert Deeth, because now on the inside should not take the lowest line there. No, takes the high line, but then the other one, the white one with Ian Curley is taking the upper line in Hugenot's corner, and now he is in front, and that's because he took the upper line in Hugenot's corner.
Yeah, then you're able to carry more speed through the corner, come out quicker, and that's usually the best thing to do, unless you're aggressively on the attack. Then you can try the inside, but then you block the other car, which is, well, fairly rude sometimes, but it happens, and sometimes it works. But now they're still battling because Deeth is on the outside into turn 9. And how is he coming out? The camera is following the second group or the third group or the fourth group, I'm not sure. So we cannot follow the head of the field anymore, not at this moment. They're already on their way on the back straight towards turn 11. The 90 degrees right-hander here into that corner is Rupert Deeth, followed by Ian Curley. Then third is that Phil Bullen-Brown, I think it is. Yep, Phil Bullen-Brown is in third position. And then probably Aaron Smith in fourth.
I think Bullen-Brown is fourth. I believe he drove the red car. There is the one with yellow in between, I think. Is it?
Oh, that's Kane Aston then.
Yeah. It's Kane Aston that has the yellow roof. Ooh,
yeah.
Kane Aston was braking to Tarzan, and the car moved from left to side, was very unstable, but he managed to keep it on track. And he is now within the slipstream of Ian Curley, the white Mini, on second place, and it's Rupert Deeth that drove away a couple of meters there. Really interested. I love it when the Minis are coming to Zandvoort. It's always nice racing.
Now what happened to Colin Peacock? He's down in sixth position. He came from fourth at the start, so he lost 2 positions. And it's a group of, well, 3 cars, then a tiny gap, and then a group of 3 more cars. And not as much as the Caterhams, but I think these cars can get a bit of slipstream as well. They're quite square. They're not very flat. They're closed cars, which helps, but they're quite square. So I'm quite sure it helps a lot when you have a slipstream. One of the Milia contestants is all the way down in 21st position, but coming back, it's Aaron Smith. Was that the one that was in the pit lane with trouble? Yeah, okay, so he started from the pit lane all the way at the back and is now going forward. There they are again, through Arie Luijendijk corner, the banked corner, onto the straight. Now it's Rupert Deeth in front, that's quite clear. Now, safety car.
Safety car.
That's why they drive so slowly.
You were quiet and I was quiet because we were just thinking like, okay, is this the real race speed or not? And it wasn't because the safety car was there, but then we missed something. Well, the safety car is on track ending Tarzan out, but there at another time at the track, we see in Schijfvlak corner on the inner side, there is a car. Is it against the guardrail or not? I'm not sure.
I think it is.
It's protected by one of the rescue cars, but I have no idea what happened there.
And who it is, but we'll find out. It's probably Darren Thomas who's missing.
Yeah,
it is. In the 7 class.
You are right, because that's the only one who didn't pass the start-finish line at the moment.
Yeah. So, 26 out of the 27 still driving round on the track, but behind the safety car, bundling up. Of course, at the back, they go a bit quicker to make up ground. Because if you see the difference between the number 1 and the number 20 was already 30 seconds, then they have a lot of ground to make up. Big differences.
Probably
in
we
speed.
can now see
Yeah,
The image is what is going wrong in Tarzan, oh sorry, in Schijfvlak corner.
yeah, they're zooming in just a bit, but not enough to see the state of the car. It's damaged. It's damaged at the front. Can it still roll, or do they need to get a flatbed truck or lorry, as it's called in
And
England?
the medical staff is talking with the driver, and he seems to be very much okay. Yeah, there is a little bit of damage. I think he touched the guardrail a bit, but
Yeah.
not a real crash. It's what we call it, a crash. So I think it's quite well. It's not okay, of course,
It
for
seems that
Darren
he
Thomas,
probably
but
went sideways and
yeah, I think so too.
got his nose in the direction of the guardrail on the right hand side and eventually hit it.
Yeah, so the
Um,
safety car now is at turn 10. Yeah, it depends if they can drag the Mini of Darren Thomas away, then it will take only one lap behind the safety car. If not, it will take probably 2 laps behind the safety car.
so code red, code yellow turned to code red um, to get rid of the car on the inside of Schijfvlak corner, and they need more time.
Yeah, it needs to be put on the truck and then brought back to the paddock. Um, so that takes some time, and especially because Gijfla corner is a blind corner you go in through. Basically, when you drive through Slotenmaker corner, which is the corner number 5 and 6, and then you go into Schijfvlak. But before you go into Schijfvlak, you drive to the top of a dune, and on that moment, because your racing car is low to the tarmac, you watch basically into the sky, and then on top of the dune suddenly you dive downwards and you see the track again. So it's a kind of a blind corner. Never brake there, because then it goes incredibly wrong. um, but yeah, that's why they choose to probably to choose for a red flag situation, to give the marshals the time and the safety to improve it, and they are really trying to yeah, check the guardrail, but there's not real damage to the guardrail.
Well, he
But they're
did
checking
hit
it.
it, and now they're checking whether the guardrail is still strong enough to hold any impact after this crash, so that the next crash doesn't end in tears, so to speak. It is also possible that when you go into the corner and you suddenly realize, am I not going too fast, and you suddenly lift, that you might wind up on the inside too far. That's also a possibility. Be careful to lift in a corner like that with a front wheel drive car. Of course, it's sometimes important to lift if you're really going to the through the corner too quickly, but then try to do it gradually before you get to the outside of the corner. Because if you do it suddenly on the outside of the corner, it's also a bit of a problem. Hoisting up Darren Thomas' car, who's got either Rooney or Rodney as a license plate, the back of the car. And that's probably his sponsor. I think he's one of the Room Speed racing drivers. And what a sad sight. Such a pretty mini, the back of a flatbed truck or lorry. And when you're following the live stream, of course, we hope there's more racing coming up any moment now with all the cars on the straight. And now I think leaving the straight, or anyway starting to drive in about 30 seconds from now. And we'll have a restart behind the safety car at the end of this lap. Another sort of warm-up lap. The tires will still be fairly warm, but might need some heating up just a bit along this warm-up lap. And also the tires, or the brakes, need to be heated up a bit more to avoid accidents at the end of the straight. The first lap after the race is resumed. So, Mini Milias, the first 6 places, Rupert Deeth leading Ian Curley, Kane Aston, Phil Bullenbrown, Mark Sims and Colin Peacock. Then it's the Libre contestants, Julian Proctor, Ian Fraser, Hugh Turner, Peter van Kleinputte and Philip Harvey. And that is the first Mini 7, Damien Harrington. And the other Milia contestant who started all the way up the back is already up to 13th position. That's Aaron Smith. And will probably be able to pass at least the first 6 cars in front of him.
We are starting again behind the safety car. Safety car will go out probably at the end of this lap, and then we'll continue the race, which will give us around, what is it, Ron? Around 10 minutes, a little bit less to race, which is okay, and we'll see what happens there. So they can warm up their tiny tires, and 1 lap is enough for these small tires. But it's so funny, everywhere you see the minis driving, they're not really driving in a way you expect them to be, because in every corner they're just drifting around the corner. It's really nice to see. That's why I always say it's a kind of a kart with a roof on it. And don't forget, I don't know the average age of the minis, but Ron, you know more or less when they were built, right? And it's more or less, but
I think it was
the 60s?
designed in 58. It actually came on the market in 59. That's when it all.
Okay, let's say the 60s then.
Yeah, and
Okay.
they produced the small Mini, so not the new Mini by BMW, but the small Mini until 98, I think they were
Yeah. What the last one I had with the company I worked for, they had some of these Mini Coopers from the latter, not from the current kind of version from BMW, but the last version of these ones. So more or less to say, they had Mini Coopers in British Racing Green, I think with a white or cream colored roof. Really nice cars at that time. But the quality was less than the ones you see here. That's really funny. So the last Minis, in my opinion, were less quality than the ones that drive around here. Or it's a different of a lot of plastic and a lot of iron in the street cars. That's still.
I guess you're right in a way, and also the quality of the average car has gone up so much. And in the 60s, this was one of the very few really good cars.
Yeah.
Sorry to say. Okay.
Anyway, we're going, the safety car is out, and we're going to continue the race with 9 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Is it Rupert Deet? But not for long, because Ian Curley comes out of the slipstream, goes outside towards Tarzan corner, and it's Deet that's on the inside, and he has the best chance of getting out of Tarzan corner at first. But Ian Curley is trying to get around it, and at that moment had to, he just switched a little bit back towards the right side of Deet, but at the end in Gerlach corner he has to stay behind Rupert Deet, and on third place Kane Astin, who is just waiting for the other drivers to make a small mistake.
And now we saw that leader Rupert Deet was not completely on the outside line. He dove to the inside more than, before halfway the corner, and he lost a bit of speed, but he regained it. It appears that Rupert Deet's car is slightly quicker.
I think so too.
More horsepower.
Of course, this class is supported by mini spares, and Rupert Deet's car has like mini spares on the route. I don't know if he is the owner of mini spares or whatsoever, but always the owner of a company gets the best part. Of course, that's how it works in the world. But still, it's a nice thing to see. And then Kane Astin with the number 11 mini, the one with the yellow roof, is trying to drive a little bit of a other line in corner number 9 and 10. To see if he can line up for the sprint towards corner 11 and try to outbrake some of the guys in front of him, Rupert Deet or Ian Curley. We'll see. Until now he didn't manage. It's still Deet, it's then Curley and Astin at third. Then we have around, what will it be, a second or something towards the red Mini, and that's the car of Phil Bullen-Brown, the number 7 car at fourth.
Yeah, and the car in front and the car in third position, they have these wide wheel arches. Now, I'm not sure if that means that they also have wider wheels than the man in second position, Ian Curley. Probably not, because that's a rule thing. And actually, the second car also has wide wheel arches, but they're black and you don't see them as much. So, no, there's no difference. And he's going to the lead. No, he's not going to the lead, because Rupert Deet can get back inside, on the inside into Tarzan corner, and regains the lead. But Ian Curley was past the leader, at least when they passed start-finish line.
Yes, he was. At the end, I thought that it just seems that Rupert Deet didn't brake at all towards Tarzan, but I think that's not possible. But it gave the chance to Kane Astin to be right after Ian Curley's car. So we now have really a group of 3 cars battling for first position. Now in Schijfvlak corner. And I don't know what will be the end of this fight here. The one that's really driving more or less alone is Phil Bullen-Brown at fourth. And after him comes Colin Peacock, the number 6 car at 5th position, all driving in the Mini Miglia class. And there we see again that the white car of Ian Curley is really doing some different lines, different than Rupert Deet, different than Kane Astin. But at the end, it's 9 of 10 times Rupert Deet who is on front. And that makes me think also that Rupert Deet's car is a little bit faster than the other two. But maybe he's just a very, very good driver, and he has driven a lot here with his Mini.
I'm not sure about his lines through. I'm not sure about his lines through Hugenholt's corner, though, Rupert Deet. Because the last time round he wasn't quicker there. He made up on the hill and over the hill, Hunsrug and Slotemakerbocht. But let's see what happens now when Ian Curley is back in the slipstream behind Rupert Deeth. Kane Aston is too far off, I think too far away to try anything. And he's on the outside again, Ian Curley. And that's the wide line round the outside. And no, he gets shut off by Rupert Deeth. All fair and decent though. Nothing drastic, no pushing and shoving going on, at least just yet. Kane Aston now tries a tighter line through Hans Hugenot's corner, but it doesn't work either. And Phil Bullen-Brown is under pressure from Colin Peacock and Aaron Smith, isn't he?
But it's really interesting because Rupert Deeth, Ian Curley and Kane Aston are fighting for third position. Normally the people behind them would get closer, but they maintain a high lap time of 1:58.8, 1:59.9, 1:58.7, and the ones behind them.
Look at that!
Phil
He went
Bullen-Brown
a bit sideways, Ian Curley sideways and losing momentum right away. So Kane Aston is on the outside into turn 10. We can't see them now. We'll only know when they get into turn 11 whether he can make it stick. But he's on the right-hand side. That's the inside of turn 11. So I think he'll make it. I think it will be Kane Aston to second position. Is he? Is he? Whoa, no, he's not. Ian Curley has got guts. He just let it rip, I think it's called in some places. Behind them, I think we had
Phil Bullen-Brown lost
no,
the
I
place.
think it's Aaron Smith who gained the place, isn't he?
Now Phil Bullen-Brown is back to fifth, and Colin Peacock is now on fourth. And now we got to try Kane Aston trying to overtake Ian Curley. I don't think he will manage this way if he does a switchback and get back to the inside. No, he doesn't.
And look at the advantage that Rupert Deeth now suddenly has. Almost second and a half because the guys behind him are fighting.
Yeah, and they're really fighting. And I think that Ian Curley's car has less grip than in the earlier laps. I see him drifting around the corners. Let's see what happens there. So Phil Bullen-Brown now back to fifth, Aaron Smith to fourth, and Colin Peacock also one place back to sixth. And that gives the guys in the front an advantage. They have to fight each other and don't have to look in the mirrors. And Rupert Deeth indeed is walking away from the guys behind him because now in general they are really fighting, the both of them. And we also see very different lines. We see Kane Aston with the car with the yellow roof pushing and pushing. He's now alongside the car of Ian Curley, but then they go on the left and then he's on the outside, and that doesn't bring him much more speed to overtake Curley. So that's how it goes. Let's see how it goes towards the corner number 11.
Whoa. There was a car about to crash. It's a turquoise Mini. I'm not sure who it was.
And we have Kane Aston on second now.
Yeah, he did manage to pass. He made a sort of a switchback in corner number 10, and that got him alongside Curley and in the end passed him. So it's now Deeth, Curley second, Aston second and Curley third.
Last lap.
Yeah, they're now getting the board last lap.
Okay, and this is Rupert Deeth. And look here at the guys fighting here for second place. Kane Aston and Ian Curley. It's now Curley that is on second again and Aston back to third. They switch position. Aston now tries to go to the inside in Tarsen corner. And they are mirror to mirror, door to door within to Gerlach corner. And exciting to see, full drifting through the corner. Then the white car on the inside, the car with the yellow roof of Kane Aston on the outside. And it's now Deeth, Curley and Aston. It's really a great race up front there.
And only if Aaron Smith would have started at the front of the field. He's the only one that does almost similar lap times to the head of the field, to the first four. Rupert Deeth can massively benefit from the fight behind him. So that makes it easy sailing, relatively easy sailing for Rupert Deeth, who just has to keep the car on the black stuff, so as the guys behind them, but they have to drive alternative lines because they're battling for position for that second position.
The lead now in corner 11, 12, Rupert Deeth, who has enough to be sure of the victory of this race. Then on second, Kane Aston and then Ian Curley on third. And I think for Ian Curley, he's too far away from Aston to have some advantage of any kind of slipstream coming out of Arie Luijendijk corner. The difference between the car is now too big. So I think it will Deeth, Aston and Curley will be the finish here. Here comes Deeth under the checkered flag. He won the race and he did a great job. Then Kane Aston on second, Ian Curley on third. So the difference between the car is relatively big compared to the rest of the race. I mean, Kane Aston 1.8 seconds behind Deeth, and then even 3/10 behind Aston we have Ian Curley. So, but anyway, they gave us a great show altogether. So very happy with this beautiful race.
And we're waiting for the head of the Libre field, U-Turner, Ian Fraser. Where's Proctor or no? U-Turner has dropped away from that group. He was leading the Libre class, but something went wrong on the last lap for him. So it's Ian Fraser winning the Libre class, then Julian Proctor, and then Philip Harvey. And U-Turner hasn't passed the straight. Then it's the fight for the Mini 7 category, which is won by Damien Harrington, beating Ross Billison. And then further back, and now just finished Daniel Munro, winner of the Mini 7 class. No, not the 7 class. He's fifth in the 7 class. We're waiting for the M7S, the Mini 7S class. The winner there is Joe Wren, beating Oliver Burkett and Oliver and Louis Burkett, both of them second and third with the Mini 7S class.